Here we are now for etude number 3. There's a very dark quality about this. It reminds me a lot of early Dead Can Dance, actually, which is never a bad thing. So starting off with our D5 voicing, so you want your 4th finger at fret 7 on the high E string, middle at fret 5 on the B string, and 1st at fret 4 on the G string. Going to gently strum through that from the low 6 all the way up. And then we're going to arpeggiate, which means to pick the notes of the chord as single notes instead of strumming them. So the B string, G string, and the high E string. This next voicing is very interesting. It's got a really nice dark sound about it. We're going to put our 1st finger up at the 5th fret and place the 3rd finger, and that's on the G string by the way, where the index finger is. 3rd finger's at fret 7 on the B string, and then we're going to put our 4th at fret 8 on the high E string. We're going to strum from low 6 again all the way up. Now, as far as I know, what's basically happening here on a harmonic level is that those scale tones here for this chord, in the first one, what we're doing is moving up into the next point in the scale from each of those notes. So for example, the 4th fret moves to the 5th, which is the next scale tone. The 5th moves to the 7th, which again is the next scale tone on the B string. And the 7th fret moves to the 8th fret, which again is the next scale tone from that point. And it's got some nice tension because the other 3 notes, D, A, D, are in the exact same place. So I would say there's a slight droning characteristic about that, which is nice. Now, once you've strummed through that gently, we're going to arpeggiate that again. Same strings as before in bar 1 actually, B string, G string, and E string. Bar 3 is identical to bar 1, so back to our D5. And another interesting voicing here, I swapped out the fingerings because of what happens later on the bar. So this is bar 4, so you want the 4th finger at fret 5 on the high E string, middle finger at fret 4 on the B string, and 3rd finger at fret 5 on the G string. Strum from the low 6 all the way up through that. Then what you want to do is pick the B string. Swap your 3rd finger for the 1st finger at fret 2 on the G string. So from the B string to the G string. And then where your 4th finger is already, you just pick that string, E string. So we get... Moving into bar 5 actually, and that will be again identical to bars 1 and 3. So there's a kind of theme apparent here. This is what we're starting with. And then every other bar is something else just to offset that. Now for bar 6, only a couple of fretted notes here. So this is a nice droning sort of sound. So you want your middle finger at fret 8. I think that's what I used in the performance example, but you'll see that when you go back to check it anyway. And then 3rd finger at fret 9 on the G string. Middle finger at fret 8 on the high E string. Then what you want to do is pick the B string, the G string, and the D string. And we're going to end off with a couple of nice mellow voicings here. So we want our third finger or first finger, whichever you prefer. Doesn't really matter, honestly. I'll use my first. I think that's what I did in the performance example, so we'll stick with that at fret 7, and that's going to bar across the E, B, and G strings. And then you want to play the low 6th, the low 6th string, the A string, and the D string with that. So from low 6 all the way up. Then simply move your first finger back to the 5th position. So you should be at the 5th fret there on the high E, the B, and the G strings, and then the rest of the open strings. And we're just going to finish up with a standard D minor voicing. So first finger at fret 3 on the high E string, third finger at fret 5 on the B string, and then middle at fret 4 on the G string. Now what I did just to change it up, it's not indicated in the transcription, but I went in the opposite direction as far as the strumming goes. So I'll just show you the right hand here. So I started on the high E string and then proceeded to just gently ripple upward. Now you can just stick to the downward if you want. Sounds okay. Just for a bit of variety. And then, although it's not included in the transcription, what I did then is one of my favorite things to do. It's a natural harmonic sequence. So what you do is you get your first finger to begin with, and you want it on the, or in the 12th position. To get the best result with harmonics, you should place the first finger over the fret itself, not in the fret space. So the fret is the wire part, the metal part. And then it's a little bit tricky, but what you've got to do is you've got to, as you're moving upward with the pick, at the same time you're moving your first finger with that motion. So it looks like this. The other thing you can do, it may work, we'll check, you could just place the first finger across all 6. Yeah, that works pretty well. So that might be the easier option if you don't feel comfortable with the other way. Just make sure it's over, like I said, the fret wire. So the metal part, you want your index finger right across, right on top of that. So the 12th position is great for people that are new to guitar because it's pretty much the easiest place to get the harmonic. So that wraps things up for etude number 3. I'll see you soon for etude number 4.